Hello and welcome to Just a Guy with your social educator, your LLB, your loony left bully. That's right, it's me, Mike D. Mike Duckerberg. How's everybody doing today? Apologize about a little later start today. We had a meeting that I could not avoid, and it ran a little longer than I wanted to, so I apologize, guys. But we have a lot of fun stuff to talk about today. As you can see, the title of this is Wowsers. Whoopi Goldberg actually said something intelligent. I know it's amazing. It usually doesn't happen. But today, we're actually going to visit an intelligent statement by Whoopi Goldberg. Hope you all are sitting down for that. But first I want to talk about the Justice Department. We already know here, you're social educators. You guys are smart. You guys already know that the Justice Department is politicized. It's not a big secret, right? It has been for a while now. But the Justice Department has been caught spying on 2 House members and several congressional staffers in a leaked investigation without telling the courts. So the Justice Department's agencies Inspector General, his name is Michael Horowitz. He released an investigation today. And he obtained documents showing phone records from 2 members of Congress and 43 staff members. Now, this was all done unknowingly. This wasn't done with permission. Okay? So this is something we went out and did without letting anybody knowing. So this is why this is such a big deal. Okay. The IG, Michael Horowitz, doing his job, releasing this information and letting everybody know that the Justice Department is doing some shady stuff. Right. So now this includes actually going and looking into President-elect Donald Trump's nominee for the FBI director, Kash Patel, including President Trump himself. So at the time, though, Kash Patel, again, who's the nominee for President Trump to be the FBI director, at that time he was working as a staffer on the Republican-led House Intelligence Committee at the time in 2017 to 2019. Now, the probe was initiated, investigates leaks of the media to FBI classified information as part of the now discredited Russian collusion. So, this is going back to when they had all that Russian collusion and how President Trump was working with Russia to steal the election and all that other crap, which we all found out that was BS. Another Democrat lie by the unconvicted felon Hillary Clinton. Just because she's not convicted doesn't mean she's not a felon. Because if this was anybody else, they'd be sitting in jail right now pulling the crap that she pulled. Right? So this goes back to that Russia collusion investigation. This is why they started going after the people, pulling the phone records, looking at who they're emailing, all this other fun stuff. Again, we're looking at 2 congressional members and 43 staffers. All right. And the biggest name coming out of it now is Kash Patel, because again, this is President Trump's pick for the FBI director. So I think that, Inspector General Michael Horowitz also knows that it's looking very, very strong that Kash Patel is going to get in. So this is the type of organization that he is going to run. One where if there's any hidden and devious ongoings by the Justice Department, especially the FBI with Kash's pot, that they're going to be exposed and there's going to be actual consequences for doing crap like this. Okay? So I think that the Inspector General Michael Horowitz, I think that might have been part of his reasoning is knowing that President Trump is coming in, and this investigation obviously started before Akash Patel's name came up, but knowing that once President Trump comes in, it's all going to change. It's all going to change. So Michael Horowitz did his job, did some digging, and found out exactly what we pretty much already knew. They're spying on people. Right? So, but now it's showing to the degree that the spying has been taking place. All right? Now, there's a former staffer. His name is Jason Foster. And he confirmed that the government successfully asked for a federal court to hide its spying on Congress for 5 consecutive years. So they went to the court, federal court, and they said, listen, we want you guys to keep this hush-hush for the next 5 years. And obviously it looks like it worked because we're now in 2024 and it's finally coming out, right? Foster, Jason Foster, the former staffer, is now the head of the Empowerment Oversight Whistleblower Center. So this is what he does for a full-time job now, is overlooks the whistleblowers and makes sure that, one, they're protected when they come out and speak, and two, to verify that the information that they're given isn't just somebody that has an issue with somebody else, that this is actually verified information and that this is not just a vendetta against whomever they may be coming out against. Okay, so this is what Jason Foster does now. All right, and at 2017, the time of the secret surveillance, he was the chief investigative counsel for Senator Chuck Grassley on the Senate Judiciary Committee. If you know anything about Senator Chuck Grassley, he's the one that actually has majority of the whistleblowers coming to him. When you heard about the IRS and Hunter Biden, and you hear about the Russia collusion, and you hear about the Mar-a-Lago crap, and you hear about the big guy, 8 p.m. Joe, and all of his classified information. All these whistleblowers that are coming forth, right? They're going to Senator Chuck Grassley for the most part. He gets a majority of these people. Okay, so this is the senator that is friendly with the whistleblowers, and of course that makes sense because Jason Foster, who is now on the Empower Oversight Whistleblower Center, was working with Senator Chuck Grassley, so he's going to be able to obtain a lot of this information. So all this is coming out now that the Justice Department had hid for 5 years that they were spying on then President Trump, Akash Patel, 42 others, and 2 members of Congress. Okay? So this is something that, again, we knew this stuff was happening. It's quite obvious it's happening. But now, thanks to Inspector General Michael Horowitz, we now have the proof that it's happened. Now, my next question is from Michael Horowitz and the Justice Department is, now that we know this cover-up was there, we know that they went around and did illegal activities, and they're trying to justify it. They're trying to say that, well, there was this Russia collusion, in the end, hoax, and we needed to validate and make sure that everything is up to par. That's their excuse. Okay. Now, from reading, and I'm not an attorney or anything like that, so don't take me as a lawyer. But from reading it, they have about a year of secrecy before it has to be known to these people that their records have been pulled and things like that. But the fact that it was covered up for an additional 5 years shows that this wasn't done properly and in any way done through the letter of the law, which again is a socialist, communist, Marxist party. So we know that they don't like the letter of the law, right? That's the furthest thing from it, you know. So why would we expect anything different from these people? Okay. But thanks to people like Michael Horowitz, Jason Foster, we're starting to learn the truths. Okay. So, just wanted to bring that up. I was just debating on whether I should get to the Whoopi Goldberg portion now, or if I should should cover my next subject. But you know what? We're actually going to go with Whoopi Goldberg. Okay. So like I said at the top of the episode today, Whoopi Goldberg, for the first time since being on The View, has said something intelligent. Now, with the whole topic that was coming up is their view on the whole Penny situation and Neely. To fill you guys in, if you don't know who Penny and Neely are, Penny is a former Marine. He was on a train or a subway in New York, and this gentleman by the name of Neely was acting stupid. The people there were fearful because he was acting like he was going to hurt somebody or some people. And this guy Neely does have a past arrest record of being very, very violent. So Penny, being the ex-military Marine, comes up behind him, puts him in a chokehold, and unfortunately, Neely passes away and dies. But he was to the point where this Neely character could have killed somebody else or many other people. So he just basically was acting in an act of self-defense and subduing this gentleman. And I use that term very, very loosely. Okay. Now, of course, the loony left, they're freaking out about it. BLM, they're freaking out about it because Penny got off. He was acquitted. Okay. Rightfully so. The man did his job. He saved who knows how many lives from this criminal. Okay. Now, I'm pretty sure he probably did not mean to kill him. But I can't say exactly what was going through Penny's mind at the time, being an ex-Marine and being in combat and everything else. You never know. Maybe instincts just kicked in. But either way, he was trying to subdue this guy and ends up killing him. The jury there acquits him, says, you know what? We can't come to an agreement, but you're definitely not guilty, right? So the loony left is freaking out. BLM came out and was talking about how this is a travesty of justice. He should have been found guilty, but what do you expect from BLM? You know, these are the peaceful protesters that burnt down numerous cities, right? Destroyed many, many small businesses, destroyed their own very own black communities, destroyed their very own black small businesses, but yet this is a travesty of justice. Okay? Neely's father comes out, and obviously he's upset. He's Neely's dad, and why wouldn't he be upset? With the exception that, Neely's dad was never really around ever, right? This guy Neely was in foster care. He had a criminal background, and Neely's father could have been there, trying to help him straighten it out, but he was never around. But you know what? Now Neely's dad feels bad. Now he feels bad. And I guarantee he's going to try to go civilly after Penny to get some money. Okay? Now, Whoopi and all her genius was upset because he celebrated. Now we're talking about Penny here. Penny celebrated his verdict with his lawyers while Neely's family was mourning the loss. Now there are pictures and videos of Penny in a bar with his lawyers celebrating the fact that he's not going to jail. Now I don't know. I don't know if I was up on trial for murder, even if it's second degree or manslaughter or whatever the case was, right? That they're trying to pin on me, and my lawyers did a good job and they got me the just verdict of not guilty, or in this case acquitted. I'd be out celebrating with him too. Whoopi's upset about that, okay? Because Neely's family is mourning the loss. Now, mind you, Neely's mom had been murdered already. So, she's not mourning anything. So really, Neely's family is his dad, who was never around any damn way. Okay. But this is really upsetting Whoopi Goldberg. Okay. Now, she addressed the verdict itself. She said that this is a failure of the court, that Penny was not convicted. Again, the loony left. This is a travesty of justice. This Marine subdued a criminal who was acting very awkwardly and in a dangerous manner towards innocent bystanders on a subway. And it just so happens that this upstanding citizen Neely has a rap sheet of criminal and physical violence. But yet, this is a failure of the court that Penny was not convicted. Okay? She also goes on to say that Neely's behavior, now again, she's going to defend the criminal, okay, because that's what they do, right? Mostly peaceful protests, right? All that crap, right? Right? So again, we're gonna back up Hunter Biden and all of his crap too. Okay, so this is nothing new for the Communist Socialist Marxist Party here. She backs up Neely and she says, Neely's behavior could have been stemmed from his mother's murder, and everyone argues that from the hospitals to the courts had failed him. You know who else failed him there, Whoopi? His own damn father. That's who failed him more than anybody. I didn't hear you blame him. No, you want to blame the hospital and the courts. But you don't want to blame his dad for not being a dad, for not being around. That's not the intelligent part. I'm going to let Whoopi speak for herself here. I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to play this piece here. It's only 25 seconds. I want you guys to listen in. And the intelligent part actually comes at the end. Okay, so here's the intelligent part actually comes at the end of this clip here. But I want you guys to listen in.
I don't know. I don't know that seeing them celebrating in a bar made me comfortable. You know, I mean, you killed the guy. The man is dead, and maybe you take the celebration home. You don't do it outside. But that's just me. Don't listen to anything I say.
Right there. Did you guys catch that at the very end? I'm going to play it again for you. Ready? This is the part right here, okay? Listen.
Celebration home, you don't do it outside, but that's just me. Don't listen to anything I say.
Right there. The first thing she said that was intelligent, that's just me. Don't listen to anything that I say. Whoopi, you finally got something right. Congratulations, baby. Good for you. Good for you. You said it. We now know. We don't have to listen to you. Not that anybody does anyways, because we've seen the views numbers. But that is the first intelligent thing you have said in a long time. Don't listen to me. Congratulations, Whoopi. You finally got something right. And for that, you're going to get a Mike Zuckerberg special helmet anytime you want it. Remember, Whoopi, it's for your safety, baby. But to get back to something a little serious, I thought we'd have a little bit of fun with that, right? Get back to something a little serious. There is a political fundraising digital platform. It's called Act Blue. It's, of course, each side has their own political fundraisers and political action committees and things like that. So Act Blue, obviously you can tell from the name, the color blue, that is going to be for the Socialist Marxist Communist Party, okay? The Republicans have actually started an investigation on whether the foreign adversaries funnel money into the Democrat Party campaigns. You know, the actual thing that they're accusing the Republicans of, right? They're accusing the Republicans of, you know, all this money from Russia and, you know, and all these other foreign entities and Trump, they took this money from this dictator or whatever, right? So there's actually an investigation right now by the Republicans saying that, you know what, we're kind of concerned about money from Iran, Russia, Venezuela, and China. Okay? Now here's the thing. If you ever want to know what the Communist Socialist Marxist Party is doing that's illegal, here's the secret. All you got to do is shut up and listen. They will tell you what they're doing illegally. How? They go after the conservatives for what they're doing. Right? Whatever they're doing wrong, they go after the Republican Party and the conservatives for what they're actually doing wrong. Think about it. Think about it. Right? They said that President Trump colluded with the Russians and stole the election. And we actually found out that there were lots of Democrats that were actually colluding with other foreign entities and in the 2016 election and trying to steal the election themselves. Right? You had Mar-a-Lago saying that Trump has classified information and that he needs to be put in jail for it. Well, yet the big guy, APM Joe, has not just classified information from when he was vice president, going all the way back to senator. You're not supposed to have classified information as a senator at your house there, big guy. The reason the presidents can do it, and this includes Obama and Clinton and Bush and everybody, is because they can declassify this stuff before it leaves. Right? Because it's for their presidential library or whatever the case may be. As a senator there, Mr. Biden, APM Joe, you're not supposed to have any classified information. So whenever you see a frivolous attempt to go after a conservative, just ask yourself, who in the Socialist, Communist, Marxist Party is actually doing this right now? That's how they know. That's why they're going after them, because they know they're getting away with it. So they're trying to preemptively strike and say, nope, they're doing it. So if they do get caught, and when they get caught, they're like, oh, but they did it first. Now it's okay. They're going to come up with some lame excuse as to why it's all right, because the conservative bad guys did it. Bad orange man, right? Mr. Dictator, Mr. Hitler Trump. It's a telltale sign. They say every liar has a telltale sign. You don't believe me? Ask any officer. Ask any detective out there. They'll tell you when somebody's lying, they always have a telltale sign. The Socialist, Marxist, Communist Party, their biggest telltale sign is they will preemptively go after the Conservative Republican Party for the crap they're doing. Look it up. Follow. You'll see that's their pattern. Okay. So in this case, the House Administration Committee Chairman, Representative Brian Steele from Republican from Wisconsin, and one of my favorite congressmen, Ohio Congressman Representative Jim Jordan, he's the chairman from the House Judiciary Committee. So you got the House Administrative Committee Chairman and the House Judiciary Committee Chairman both working together here to go after Act Blue. Now what they're doing though is they're actually communicating via letter with a firm called SIFT, S-I-F-T. Now they're going after SIFT, and they say that this is a subject of urgent concerns about potential illegal foreign donations to U.S. political campaigns. Okay, that's the official letter of why they're going after them. And I'll explain to you why SIFT here in just a moment. But both the chairman said, and I quote, Act Blue maintained poor anti-fraud practices that have allowed bad actors, being Iran and all those, to make fraudulent political donations, including from foreign sources. It goes on to say fraudulent political donations corrupt American elections and could amount to interstate criminal conduct. Now, who do we know already did this? Anybody? Who do we know already did this? That's right, APM Joe. Right? All that 10% kickback to the big guy from Ukraine and everything else. He's taking foreign money and he's flushing it into political campaigns and everything else, and into his own pocket, into his family's pockets and everything else. Okay. So we already know that's happening at that level. But now they're saying not only that, but it's happening to fund U.S. political campaigns. So when they went to Act Blue, you go to Act Blue and you look at it, their most recent policy on privacy policy, it actually expired August 19th. So it expired actually before the elections, because the elections were November 5th. So their privacy policy actually expired August 19th. They were actually contracted with that company, SIFT, to provide fraud detection and preventative services. Now, when you look up SIFT is actually a AI-powered fraud services for digital businesses. So what they do is they look at all the different money that's coming in or going out or whatever the case may be, make sure that it's up to par. Okay. So in this case, Act Blue contracts out through SIFT, an AI-powered fraudulent service business, and they're supposed to verify that all the donations and funds that they're raising for Act Blue are on the up and up. Okay, but again, that privacy policy expired August 19th. So now they're just trying to get to the bottom of it. So how long did SIFT actually do this? Did once their contract expired, did SIFT stop? Did SIFT continue on into November without the contract? So there's a lot of different questions that need to be answered right now. And if SIFT was involved, did SIFT knowingly, if SIFT was involved and if there were actually fraudulent money coming in from foreign sources like Iran and Russia and China that could possibly infect the U.S. political elections, did SIFT know about it? Did SIFT back out August 20th because their contract ended August 19th? So there's a lot of questions. And then also just to even know that is the money that they're looking at fraudulent political donations at all. So there's a lot of questions here that need to be answered. Now, when reached out to Act Blue said that they are actively cooperating with this investigation. Now, I don't know what that means. You could say you're actively cooperating. In your own mind you are, but maybe they're delaying things and pushing things out and trying to hide stuff and making it very difficult. On the chairman, on both Jim Jordan and Brian Steele. So don't know exactly what level of cooperation there is there, but when reached out to, Act Blue did say that they are cooperating. So this is something that I would like to continue to follow suit on and see exactly where this all leads to. Okay. So it'll just be kind of interesting to see what the end result is out of this investigation. And again, I want to see consequences. Now, this is if people are found guilty here, okay? I'm not saying they are, all right? We don't know yet. My guess, seeing the socialist, communist, Marxist parties' patterns, they're guilty, okay? But I'm not just going to go ahead and say they are. My educated guess is, yes, they're guilty. But if they are found guilty of fraudulent political donations, is there actually going to be consequences? Because that's something that the Republican Party has to lock down. We all know on the socialist, communist, Marxist side, there's no consequences for your actions. You can shoot the president and still maintain your job. You can lie to the American people and still maintain your job. You can let in over 11 million illegal aliens and you can still maintain your job. You can send out orders of catch and release and allow convicted killers, convicted pedophiles, convicted sexual assaultists and kidnappers and everything else into our country and still have your job. So we know on the Socialist, Democrat, Marxist, Communist Party, there are no consequences. Unless you're conservative, then they come get you all day long. But we need to see that if there's guilt here, that the conservatives actually have set consequences for these people. Not just a slap on the wrist. This is going to be incredibly important, Republicans, over the next 2 years. Again, we don't have 4 years, we got 2. That's it. I'm going to say that almost every single episode because I want it drilled in you guys' head. We don't have 4 years here, we only have 2. Because if they find out these guys are guilty and they don't do anything about it, you're going to lose the people's trust. Right? You found out that the Justice Department was spying and broke the law. Now that Mr. President Trump, your people in the Justice Department, Kash Patel, everybody that's going to be sitting over there, Kristi Noem, all you guys, right? Peter Hegseth, you guys need to make sure that when their people have broken the laws there, they just don't get fired. There's actual consequences. This is going to be how the Republican Party and the conservatives continue to build the trust in the American people. And I'm not saying that if they're not guilty, that you go after them, because again, we're not trying to indict innocent people. And if you do an investigation and they're innocent, you leave them alone. But we have to see consequences and results, Mr. President. Your team has been well picked. Your team, I believe, is a group of all-stars. Now we need to make sure that your all-star team goes after and gets the results. Okay? But you know me, I always try to end on a positive note, right? So, went ahead and did some polling results for the Hunter Biden pardon. All right? The big guy's pardoned to his son, because we all know he wasn't going to do that. So, pollster Scott Rasmussen from the Napoleon News Service, right? The Rasmussen poll. They asked if people agreed with the pardon of Hunter Biden. Surprisingly, no, I'm just kidding. 62% oppose the pardon. Of those that oppose it, 41% strongly opposed it. So not only do 62% oppose it, but of those that oppose, 41% of it are strongly opposed to it. Okay? And then only 30% of the voters favored Biden's clemency. Of course, that's your loony left. We can see that. Those are probably the same 30% that believe today I'm going to be a man, tomorrow I'm going to be a woman, Friday I'm going to be a Mexican unicorn jumping through a hula hoop, right? Who knows what I want to be on Saturday? I haven't decided yet, right? So this is probably the same 30% that agree with that crap, okay? Now, the reasoning the president gave was saying that Hunter Biden was unfairly targeted by prosecutors for political purposes. Okay, so Rasmussen asked, "Do you agree?" Taking away the pardon itself, but do you agree, at least with the reasoning, that Hunter Biden was actually unfairly targeted by prosecutors because it's political, right? 54% disagreed with it. Said no, that's not the case. 37% agreed. Again, that's right in par with the loony left, plus a couple of others. Okay. Then they went and asked about President-elect Donald Trump. They said, now, we know that you agree that, most of you agree that that Hunter Biden wasn't unfairly targeted, right? If anything, it was the other way. We've already discussed that. But let me ask you guys, Mr. Rasmussen says, let's look at President-elect Donald Trump. Do you believe that the Justice Department unfairly targeted him? 46% said yes. They believe that President Donald Trump was unfairly targeted. 42% disagreed and said no, he was properly gone after. Okay, so it's a little bit closer there. Okay. That has you loony left, but a lot of that right there is due to the mainstream media. Their Democrat media wing really is what they are, right? We saw that over and over again over the course of the past couple of years, and especially during this election time. So a lot of these people that are getting the news from the created news network, CNN, MSNBC, wherever they're getting the news from, right? They're hearing, about all these charges and that Trump's guilty. Okay. So, but it still shows that even through all that BS, 46% are like, nope, still went after him for political reasons. Sorry, boss. So, good news right there. Rasmussen poll, 3 different questions, all of them favoring the conservatives. Okay, guys, they talked about a red wave in 2020, but obviously it didn't happen. They talked about a red wave in 2022, but obviously it didn't happen. 2024, they talked about a red wave. It didn't happen. It wasn't a red wave, it was a red tidal wave. It completely demolished that blue wall, right? So now, what we need to do is ride that tidal wave and continue the momentum by doing the things you said you were going to do. And us as social educators, each and every one of you out there listening and watching me today, need to continue to do your job too. Need to continue to educate those, not the loony left, they're gone. Educate those that are still sane, that still are willing to listen and have an actual debate and an open discussion and present them with the facts, present them with the numbers, present them with reality and normalcy. You know, ask them, hey, you got a 15-year-old son. He doesn't have his period yet. Did your son get your period? And when they look at you crazy, you know what? You know they're not part of the loony left, right? So we need each and every one of you to keep showing up every day, being the social educators you are. I'm going to do my job. I'm going to sit right here in this seat. I'm going to try to upgrade this a little bit so it's a little bit prettier. I mean, this face is only this pretty, and I know it's not that pretty, but I'm going to try to make the place around me a little bit prettier for y'all so it's a little bit easier for you to watch. Okay, so there'll be some upgrades here in the next coming weeks and months. Try to make this look a little bit better for y'all. I mean, after all, I'm just a guy, right? But you guys are just amazing. I want you to keep being amazing. I want you to go on YouTube, like and subscribe. I want you to go on Rumble, like and subscribe. Keep watching me here on Facebook as long as they don't kick me off or as long as I don't get shadow banned even further than I already am. Again, YouTube, it's just a guy. Rumble, it's just the guy, Mike D. Go over there, like and subscribe. Keep doing what you're doing. Love each and every one of you guys. You know I'm going to pray for each and every one of you as well. Until Thursday, because today's Tuesday. We'll see you then. Mike Zuckerberg out.